The first card you have for your past is the Ten of Wands. Yes. I'm seeing this quite literally, actually. I think you were working really, really hard at this time. And I think maybe, I'm just seeing maybe in your more distant past, for a long time in your life, maybe you'd been through a lot of financial ups and downs. I think, you know, for a long, long time, you had a lot of past problems around work, maybe finding work. You had a lot of problems. You were, you know, scratching around for money. You were, you know, very, 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 a lot of problems around money. That's what I'm trying to say. I think in your past, someone also might have even tried to take money from you at one time. It might have even been that bad. So I think, you know, you kind of, everything you do now is to try to make sure you never go back there. You never go back to that time. You never go back to that place. You never go back to having nothing. So you have this determination inside you to never let yourself be in that position again. And that's fantastic. That's a really fantastic thing to do, of course, because, you know, your determination's really improved your life. I can see that. But I think at this time, you're just really, really exhausted. And it's not that you weren't enjoying your work. I think you do enjoy your work. But I think that there were just huge volumes of work and they were sitting all around you waiting for you to finish. And it was just exhausting, physically exhausting for you. I'm also seeing that there might have been some either, you know, demanding people around your work, maybe demanding bosses or demanding clients, or someone like that, different people who were demanding things of you. And that was obviously very stressful as well, on top of all of the work you had to do. You know, but you're very, very stable. You want stability. You're Taurus, you're stable, you're strong. And, you know, your position's a lot more stable than you realise. You know, you've learned so much from your past, if this is resonating with you, and you're not going back there. Don't be afraid of going back to your past, because you won't. I think that you absolutely will not ever go back there. You know, and I think what might have been happening at this time is you might have been working yourself into the ground to really make sure that you never, ever, ever went back there. You might have been saying, oh, I've got to save more, I've got to save more, have to have more behind me, have to make sure I'm earning more. I don't ever want to go back to the past. That's the kind of thing I'm seeing here. But, you know, you're not going to go back there. I'm not seeing that you will. I don't think you have anything to worry about. I think your determination is going to make you keep going. But I think obviously you're overdoing it at this time. You really, really were. I mean, if you look at the man on this card, he's working to get to the stable home. He's kind of walking towards it. He's struggling to get there. He can't see the home. He can't see where he's going. And you are working toward achieving your goals, which is fine, of course, and you still are. But you need to be able to see and experience those goals, and you need to enjoy them, and you need to enjoy the smaller ones, the little ones that you achieve along the way, even before you get to the big one. You might still be reaching the big one, or you might be heading toward the big one, and you might just have your head down trying to press on, getting to the big one, but you're not looking up and enjoying where you are now. And, you know, I'm not telling you to stop working. I'm not telling you to, you know, forget work and buy a ticket to a tropical island or anything crazy like that. I'm just saying scale down a bit if you can. Enjoy things a bit more as you go along. You don't have to keep up this crazy pace, because eventually you're going to burn out if that's what you do. The next card you have for your past is the High Priestess. So I'm seeing someone who might have been trying to get close to you and they weren't able to. And I think you might have been really unhappy with someone, actually, not in a dramatic way. You weren't hugely upset, you weren't angry or screaming, and there wasn't any fighting or whatever. You know, this beautiful priestess is obviously very serene. She doesn't yell or scream, but she can also be this woman who nobody can reach, unobtainable, if that makes sense. I think this is how someone saw you. You weren't happy with someone. I think this might have been a love connection, or it might have been a past love connection, someone who was trying to come back to you. And I think someone might have thought of you as this kind of person who's up on your high horse, up on this pedestal kind of thing. And you had a kind of a grudge against them, and they felt that it was unnecessary. Obviously, you didn't think it was unnecessary, but they did. And I keep on getting this feeling of you thinking, I'm not going back to my past. I'm not going back to my difficult past. I'm just not going back there. So maybe this person spoke or they acted in a way that you probably would have put up with once in your past, but you're not going to now. So I think in your past you put up with a lot of horrible people who treated you badly, and the new you who is not poor anymore and you're not being treated badly anymore is not going back there ever again. So I think that you felt a bit disrespected by this person. They weren't seeing it as badly as you were, but you see that they were disrespecting you in some way. Yeah, I hope that doesn't sound too confusing. But yes, it was kind of like there was a standoff happening between you. You thought, no, I'm unhappy with them. I'm not going to go back to them. I might not even be talking to them. And they were kind of thinking, oh, they're just holding a grudge. They'll come back eventually, and they're just being pig-headed, and I'll talk them round eventually. I'm not happy with them. I wish I could reach them. I really want to reach them, but at the moment I can't. But eventually I probably will be able to. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting around that card. Excuse me. The last card you have for your past is the Moon. Yes. So yeah, I think it probably ran a bit deeper than that. Yeah, they were trying to get close to you. They were seeing you as someone who's holding a grudge against them unnecessarily. But I also think that yeah, they were probably more hurt and more affected by this, by you being unhappy with them and not forgiving them or whatever, than you think they were. You might have just thought, oh, they're just trying to kind of come back and get into my good books or whatever, and I'm not going to let them do that. But actually it ran a lot deeper for them. I think they're really in their head around this. They really wanted to get closer to you. And I think they're really just thinking, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? How am I going to get closer to them again? And yeah, I just think, yeah, I think there might have been some secrets around this as well. I think they might have had some secrets that you knew about. They didn't know you knew about them. Maybe they did, I don't know. But they had some secrets and you knew about the secrets. And then they came back, maybe you forgave them for those, maybe you didn't. And then they came back and they did something disrespectful. And then it was kind of like, well, that's the last straw, that's it now. Forget it. It might have been something like that. So I think it was kind of a bit like a double betrayal to you. So it made you even more angry. And it might not have been as dramatic as that, because I'm still seeing you being quite serene around all of this, like this high priestess. Obviously you weren't happy, but you weren't showing your temper or anything like that. But I'm just looking at these watchtowers on this card, and I think they knew deep down that you really did know everything. But now that I see that, but I don't think they wanted to admit that. That's why I was seeing, did they know that you knew or not? And I think they did, but they just didn't want to admit that. They were kind of still holding on to the fact that they thought you'd still come back, or something like that, or you'd forgive them eventually. But you saw it all, you know it all. You know they were lying to you, and you know that they were disrespectful to you, because when you're up in a watchtower you can see everything. And again, they wanted you to forgive them, but I think they were trying to minimize the problem. They were all in their head about how they were going to get you back, and I don't see them being able to do that actually, now that I'm seeing all of this properly together, everything all together. So yes, I'll move on to your present. So the first card you have your present is the Ace of Swords. So yeah, this is about clarity. You could see things very clearly. So yeah, the watchtowers were correct. You can see things very, very clearly. I think that, even before you knew what the facts were around this person, your intuition knew. You're a very spiritual person, actually. You're a very intuitive person. And that intuition has been growing a lot. You've been using your intuition, nurturing that, working at that. And so it's been growing a lot more for you as well. So your intuition's even better than it has been in the past. And I think that, yeah, I think that if you haven't already, I think you'll probably be leaving this person behind at some time, either now or in the future. Because I think their attitude and their outlook probably just represents the past for you once again. and you just don't want to go back to the past. You're not putting up with any disrespect, you're not putting up with any poverty, any of those old things that make you feel like you're back in the past. You're just not going there. The other thing I'm seeing in this card is that I'm seeing something creative. This might be something around writing. It might be something visual, might be something in the arts, might be acting, but I am seeing writing. It might not be, but that's what I'm seeing. Something creative anyway. And I think this could be linked to a business or something work-related, or it might be something that you could turn into a business, or something that you could turn into something that's work-related. Whatever this is, if you've started, if you haven't yet, if you're just thinking about this, work on this. Don't put this to one side. Work on this, please. I think that if all of this works out, and I think if you keep on working on this, if it does turn into a business or it does turn into some other project, I think this actually has the potential to be not only lucrative, but I think it has the potential to be something that will be very, very satisfying for you as well. And I think it might be something that might even set you free from this great big burden that I'm seeing in the Ten of Wands that you're carrying around. This might be something that you can work on that's going to take the work away from this Ten of Wands. And, you know, if you earn money in this way, it might lessen your burden in the other area. I hope that makes sense. So, yeah, the next card you have your present is the Emperor. So, yeah, again, this is about this Ten of Wands. This is about this work you're doing and you can't get out of it, or you feel that you can't. You can, but you feel that you can't. You've set up some kind of structure for yourself, for a work or a business structure. It might be work or it might be a business. And this is, again, this is so that you'll never go back to the way things were before. And this is a good thing. It's not a bad thing, but it's obviously pushing you forward. But I think, as I was seeing in the Ten of Wands, once again, you might be sort of stuck in this structure. I'm trying to say stuck in this structure. So you might be kind of stuck in this. You built it up for yourself, but it might have been a trap for you. It might have become a trap for you. And again, I know I sound like I'm repeating myself, but again, yeah, it's similar to what I was seeing in the Ten of Wands. You want to break out of that structure. It's your own structure, but you're afraid to, in case things come crashing down and you have nothing again. And you also probably have responsibilities as well. You have bills to pay or whatever else, and you feel like you can't just drop everything. But again, you don't have to drop everything. It doesn't have to be extremes. It's not about poverty versus riches and stability. It doesn't have to be that extreme. There are degrees in between those things. So again, you're going to have to try to find some kind of happy medium somewhere in between those two extremes. If you're going to find, if you're going to get some kind of peace inside your head, stop you from burning out, all of that kind of thing. Again, you're very spiritual, but I think you might have gotten a bit off your spiritual path when it comes to your career and your money. It's like you've kind of neglected that side. It was building up for you, it was going really well, and now you might have kind of let that drop a little bit. I'm not saying that to be a spiritual person you have to reject money. A lot of people feel that way. I don't agree with that at all. It's just about finding a balance, again, finding a happy medium between the two. I'm telling you to rest. I wish the Hermit or the Four of Swords were here, but they're not in the spread. But I'll tell you to rest anyway. You need to rest, or you need to kind of find something to get yourself, to ease yourself out of this, ease the burden that you're in. The last card you have for your present is the Ten of Cups. So, yeah, this might sound a bit cringy, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think this card might be telling you to be grateful for what you already have. Celebrate what you have. It's fine to strive for more, but not at the expense of your happiness. Look at how happy they are. So just, you don't need to keep striving and striving and striving. It's great that you're working hard. It's great that you're better off than you were, but you don't have to take it to an extreme. The other thing I'm seeing in this card is that, yeah, I think this person who wants you to forgive them really, really wants to believe that you will eventually do that. everything will be okay between you. Now, I know that you don't think that. This is how they're feeling. I think they might be telling themselves that once you've gotten over this little grudge or whatever you're holding against them, you're going to come back to them and everything's going to be fine. But, you know, if you look at this card, yeah, this is a positive card, obviously. I'll just lift it up so you can see. So, yeah, it's a positive card, and I know I get accused all the time of making positive cards into negative cards, and I don't mean to do that. This is what I'm seeing. This family is standing outside of this scene. They're looking into this scene. So it's like this person who wants you back, who wants you to forgive them. It's like they're looking into a shop window almost, and they're looking at something that they like, something they're fantasizing about, something they want to happen between you. But the reality is they can't just walk in and buy what they want in the shop. They're looking in and they can't get what they want. It's not going to happen for them. It's a fantasy for them. It's not going to happen. They can't demand your forgiveness. If you don't feel that you want to forgive them, you're not going to. It's just not going to happen. Now, again, I'm not saying that they're demanding anything from you, but if they want forgiveness, it has to come from you. And to be honest, again, I can't see that ever happening. I really can't. So the first card you have for your future is the Five of Swords. Yeah. I'm seeing someone sort of complaining about you. They're complaining about you, or they're going to be, this is in your future, they're complaining about you to someone else. I've seen this person in readings before, actually. This is someone who's a bit younger than you. They might be a relative. Now, I think this person might be going around telling other people that you're a bit like the man on this card. You're not like the man on this card, but whatever this is, this has been blown out of proportion. Someone's going around telling some story. They're embellishing the story, saying, oh, this person's terrible, they've done this thing, or whatever. Okay, I'm seeing something specific here. I'll just tell you what I'm seeing. This might be someone who used to live with you, and I think they were really difficult to live with. I'm not seeing that they're around you now. I think this person can be very, very sensitive and even a bit volatile. They're sensitive in a kind of an angry way, if that makes sense. And they moved away from you, or you did, or whatever. You separated, you're not living together now, obviously. But I think they still like to try to paint that time when you were together to others as you hurt them, you did something to them, you drove them away. It's that kind of thing. And you didn't do any of those things, but that's the way they like to kind of paint this picture to other people. I actually don't see you even wanting to bother answering to them, retaliating, giving your side of the story, or anything like that. I think this might just be another thing that's in the past for you, something that you want to move on from, something that you don't want to even go back to ever again. I don't think you're even going to bother addressing this or saying anything about this. I think you know that whatever they're saying isn't true. I don't think you really even care what other people think. I think you knowing the truth is enough for you. You're not going to go back there. And I think you know that if you start to kind of say, I'll tell my story, then they'll tell theirs, then you'll tell yours, someone else will tell theirs, it'll go on and on and on. It'll just make it worse. It'll just snowball this thing, escalate this thing. And you don't want anything like that to happen. So you're just going to keep quiet around this. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have for your future is the Ace of Wands. Yeah, so you have two aces. So this thing that I'm seeing in the Ace of Swords, this project, this thing, this writing, this creative thing, this is coming up again here in the Ace of Wands. Now, obviously, if you have two aces, that tells me this is very important for you to know and hear about, and important for you to do. So now, this time in your future is the time for you to put some work into this creative business, this writing thing, whatever this thing is, in the Ace of Swords. Now, I think in the Ace of Swords, you've been blessed with some amazing ideas, creative ideas around this project or this thing. And now is the time to put these things into action. So I think at this time, you might be forced in a way to pare down your usual work so that you can do this thing. This is going to be a fantastically good thing for you to do on a lot of levels. Firstly, if you decide to do this, which I hope you will, it's going to force you to pare down your work so you're not as exhausted in that. It's going to force you to look at your creative side again, which you've been neglecting, and your spiritual side, because I think it might be something to do with that. Something that you're writing might be something to do with that as well. And it's going to be lucrative for you as well if you do this. So it's going to take some of the financial burden off you working so hard that you're so exhausted. So this is going to do a lot of fantastic things for you. So you have the Ace of Swords, you have the Ace of Wands. Do this, do this. Don't look back. Please start this. So the last card you have for your future is the Four of Pentacles. So yes. Yes, don't let your regular job or your regular business stop you from moving forward with this thing. Do not do that. Don't put it to one side. Don't think, oh, but I'm so busy. I've got so much work to do. Excuse me, I can't stop that. You know, I can't stop what I'm doing. I can't do these other projects. I just don't have time for them. You do. You do. Make time, please. This man on this card, he's obviously hanging on to these coins. He's afraid that he's going to lose these coins if he moves into anything else. So easing up on your normal work isn't going to make you bankrupt. It's not going to make you broke or anything like that. As long as you plan things properly, take your time out to pursue this thing, take some time out from your work as well, just for the sake of it as well, because I know you need to do that. You don't want to burn out. So yeah, this is something you need to do. Take some time out to work on this new thing, and also take some time out to just take some time out. You're burnt out. You won't go back to your past, especially in work. You have enough money behind you. You've saved enough. That's what I'm seeing. You're also working enough. You're on a high enough income. I am seeing, if this is resonating with you, for you to be able to take this time out and start working on this thing. And in the beginning, you don't even have to take any time out at all. You can just do it in your spare time. Do it in the evening. Do an hour in the evening. But don't neglect this. Please start on this. That's what I'm seeing.